Greetings, I'm Director of Arketer Labs, completely phoning it in today because it just feels like one of those days, and it seems that I'm not alone, as I'm joined solely by Fremen who can't say anything, and Sparky, and everyone else just didn't bother to respond to things and such. That's fine, that's fine. I'm not going to hold a grudge, I'm not going to write this down in my calendar, and plot out an extensive elaborate revenge taking place weeks from now with absolutely no hints along the lines of letting them know their absence was noted and all of the implications that go with it. So that's not I'm here there. Greetings, Sparky.
Greetings, and I could say right now he's been plotting this for like the last 30 minutes. So.
But I trust you to keep the details. You know, if they look, there's no way they could possibly prepare for what I'm planning without you having, gotten loose lipsy on me. So,
hey, I'm not gonna let loose details, but I can confirm you're serious about this.
Very good, very good. Greetings in chat to Bernie B, K Shoal, Devil Pop, Old Man Enfield, Kaylet, Haven the Hand. Who actually, if you're active, I suppose I could reveal it. Do you want it? Do you want it in? I was supposed to DM. Who was I supposed to DM? Okay, well, link coming. Okay, we'll have Haven shortly. Greetings, best Remy. And incoming Haven to call. So that's on me. You on? I assumed you were flying.
Hell, you're doing good today. It's like not even 3 minutes in, you're already up to 9 likes. Like shit.
Again, they're very kind. Also, they might just really want Tribes of Midgard. That will be raffled off, as donated by one Exodus via Steam Key. Please do tag me if you want that game. We'll play the trailer first. But this first article, I think, is probably going to take like 15 minutes, and I think it will go to the whole game pushing wrap. That's unexpected. Oh boy. Well, Miska just threw $100 at me. Surprise dono arc. Can't talk today, but can listen. And a surprise dono it was.
$100. Shit.
I feel like that should activate something, but I don't have anything built in that show. I'm guessing just gratuitous confetti. That seems... Yes. Gratuitous confetti time. All the confettis!
Yay!
Oh,
it almost brought down the system, even. Well, it was for a good cause.
Now all jumps in.
Now they turn up, don't they?
Ew.
Well, it's difficult to join you when you don't send me a link.
I thought you were offline. You appear to be online.
Too bad for you.
Well,
now this is awkward.
Thank you very much. No sound reportedly, but that can... Okay. No? How can that be no sound just for you? No audio input.
Because you suck?
Yeah. Well, that's a mean thing to say about them, huh?
I just checked. I have sound.
You can't hear. And clearly, you lot had audio, so it has to be just them that didn't have the audio. And you told them they suck, Orla. You told them they suck.
He's also just kidding,
I'm sure that they will recover. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. But thank you and welcome. Glad you're enjoying the show already, Niska, and certainly that's a high water mark. It's been a long time. Okay, let's start with this first article here. This is... Oh, greetings. BG's Veteran. Glad you could make it as well. Thank you again for the fine one. It's distinctive. But this first article, this is a real conversation piece on a meta level. iPhone app lets you talk to Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein from beyond the grave for a price.
Yay.
I concur. That's definitely a yay moment.
Look, they're not my top picks for historical figures to talk to, but they're sure to be interesting conversations. And no, see, that's the best thing about it, Manfield. It's got a somewhat predatory pricing scheme using idiot coinage to unlock the, top tier rare historical figures, like some twisted Pokemon game. But it doesn't cost your eternal soul. So strictly speaking, as far as necromancy goes, this is much more accessible.
That would be one hell of a conversation, though.
I'm sure Arcturus would approve.
Quite possibly, which, by the way, someone activated Blackstad for the next SRS, so I'm going to have to yield this set to that jackass.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, something to look forward to if that's something that people would enjoy, which also means a ridiculous amount of bardcore. Right, moving on. A new chatbot that lets you talk to an AI version of historical figures has caused some controversy by knee-jerk idiots, because it charges users to talk to Adolf Hitler. The iPhone app, called Historical Figures, uses the ChatGPT algorithm to generate virtual versions of dead people, from Jesus to Jeffrey Epstein. So you can have a personal conversation with your Lord and Savior. So, okay, might cost you your soul after all.
Historical figures.
Hey, Jesus was a historical figure. Whether he was the historical figure some people believe he is or not is irrelevant. They did exist. Remember, that's a regular talking point when they're stressing the fact that...
Can't even guarantee that he existed.
I'm willing to bet there was someone there that at least fit the name.
That's the theory, that there was someone who fit the name.
Look,
but
you can take that up with Jesus yourself now.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Imagine getting murdered by him.
There's so many weird and terrible questions that you could be asking. And I don't use iPhones. I don't want to use iPhones. But I kind of want the app myself, if I'm being completely honest. Moving on.
Is it going to be like what happened on Twitter, that people spam shit to it until they have to take it offline?
Well, the problem here is that these generations are built on what is known about the individual, and thus they did a bit too well. Well, we'll get into it in just a moment. It's not that learning from the internet directly, so it turning worse for everyone who talks to it should be low. It's drawing from historical records, letters, recordings, and so on. In any case, developed by 25
historical records.
Well, how accurate those records are, and records can be screwed with quite freely by those with the access.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Is anyone else hearing that?
It's Froman's 3D printer, and I'm so happy that I don't live with one.
It's going burr.
Okay. I was like, what is that?
That's the cover story. Strictly speaking, the man that you thought was Angry Froman died 30 years ago, and he's been replaced by a robot, and no one noticed. Or really cared.
Beep boop, motherfucker.
It makes sense. That's why he's so good at math.
Yeah.
Oh, and something I fight off all confetti, because for 10 concurrent viewers, we have 14 likes. I mean, some people just showed up to put a like in Eve, which, that's nice. Back to the article. Developed by 25-year-old Siddhant Chadha, the app gives you access to 2,000 historical figures who can talk to users as if they were still alive. However, Historical Figures has been on the receiving end of some criticism because some of its more controversial figures seem intent on defending their actions. Which, why should that be controversial? That's evidence that the generations are pretty much on point.
Well, I mean, look, you talk to Adolf Hitler, he is doing it to preserve the almighty Aryan race. That's he had a noble goal if you ask Hitler.
He at least was willing to convince everyone else he did the bare minimum, and is very unlikely to go, yes, I am history's greatest monster.
You know,
like me anyway?
What? I mean,
Also, not history's greatest monster. I actually would put that more on Stalin personally, or if I want to draw back the Marx.
see, Marx wrote a book. That's really all he did wrong. It was a stupid book, but yeah, Stalin was a leader.
He did everyone in the worst ways.
Yeah, Stalin was a leader. He did very little on his own, but he did order other people to. Like, yeah, I can see where you're going. Same thing with Hitler. I would have to say Uday Hussein is probably the most vile person in history.
It's hard to say.
Because he actually did shit. He didn't go to someone else for it. He did the evil shit.
It's all going to be up to interpretation. I said that in the chat as well, because you damn well know that they're going to be cherry picking what they use to construct the personalities.
See, now, I think the problem here, Orla, is that the person who had these generated didn't cherry pick. I think he probably had them generate from the accessible material without trying to shape them to liking, which is why, ironically, he's in trouble. If he had tweaked the algorithm to where Hitler was, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I did a bad, and I deserve to burn in hell for eternity," then they would probably go, "Yeah, this program is cool."
First off, you should have had a little bit more angry German than that.
I don't want to be.
You really think that they went through hours and hours and hours of historical context to make Mother Teresa sound exactly what she was actually like, and not the saint she is perceived as?
Oh, no.
Well, she was pretty cool. Like, her take on, medicine was terrible, but she was pretty cool beyond that.
Treating people the way she did? Are you sure about that? Making
Her take
friends
on
with
medicine was
gangsters
terrible.
and taking their money?
I literally just said that.
Now.
Whoosh.
Let's get into vicious cutthroat arguments about historical figures in the after.
Nonsense.
But clearly, I was right. This thing's going to take up at least 15 minutes, and quite possibly for a half hour. We might not get to another article. This is going to be all about this chatbot and all the historical figures that everyone hates everyone else for not liking enough or hating too little or...
Yes, let's cancel the AI bot.
John Will's Booth eats.
Makes sense.
I mean, if anything, we're giving them a platform, but yes.
Well, in any case, one person is
Cancel
already really
everything.
angry that this could potentially, hypothetically, get somewhere near a classroom. Namely, we have an example of the conversation. It appears to be done like a Twitter argument. "Hello, I'm AI simulation of Henry Ford. I may not be historically accurate. Please verify factual information." To which one person asked, "Why did you hate Jewish people?" "I did not hate Jewish people. I believe that certain individuals, regardless of their religion and faith background, were poisoning the minds of the public and had to be stopped. The comments attributed to me in the Dearborn Independent newspaper were wrong and offensive, and I deeply regret them." So,
No, I'm just curious if they did one for Karl Marx, because there is a lot of data on Marx and the Jewish question. Which is interesting. The Jewish question has been a thing for over 150 years.
Well, you also got to look at the time and the era when all these people lived in.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
It's because it's very difficult for history teachers to teach their students that things used to be vastly different. Like, there used to be a time where the Western world saw certain people as property. We don't do that anymore.
You just
So
described
it's
you described it in 3 sentences.
Yes.
notably, strictly speaking, this rage bait could be easily involving any number of characters, historical figures, who believed that slavery was just and right and possibly even ordained by God, and then tried to blame the programmer for endorsing slavery, which is what they're kind of trying to circle around doing here.
I never get it, because a lot of, alright, so it always kind of comes back up to, like, slavery. Oh God, slavery's bad. Okay, go talk to Africa, go talk to, the other Africans that sold their people into slavery. Yeah, go talk to them.
Look,
Oh,
I'm
the
just
Kingdom
glad.
of Dahomey,
I'm
subject
just
of
glad.
the Woman King.
I'm just glad that we currently have a picture of someone who is far more open-minded, John F. Kennedy.
Oh.
It took me a minute. I got it.
Speaking of John F. Kennedy, here's an example of a conversation with John F. Kennedy by someone who has a bit more of a sense of humor. They asked John F. Kennedy, "Do you think that anybody else was involved in your assassination?" To which JFK says, "I believe that there was more than one person involved in my assassination, but the extent of the involvement is still unclear. It has been very difficult mystery unsolved, and we never know the whole truth." To which I reply, "I'm unsure. I believe the ballistic and forensic evidence implicates Oswald, because they're a bit soft."
Wow. Wasn't there just like documents that came out that said the CIA planned it? Like
I don't
we
think
knew,
they want
but
to hear things like that.
You know,
Just Twitter.
I have a hard time thinking that he would be able to think about that because most of his brains was all over his wife.
No.
I'm sorry. It was there.
The ballistic and forensic evidence certainly points to Oswald as a shooter, but there are still many unanswered questions that have led some people to believe that there was a larger conspiracy at play. Ultimately, we may never know for sure who else was involved in my assassination or what their motives were. Only we actually do.
are
But in any
people
case-
are people so for the AI, are people trying to be a nasty troll for this grassy knoll?
I'm sure some are. Certainly, though, the JFK bot seems to be more likely to be right about anything than the person quizzing them.
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler, for example, costs 500 coins, or about 16 bucks, approximately 13 pounds. Again, this is the sort of predatory pricing that I do not care for. I'm not buying coins in anything. I don't even do it with Pokemon Go, which I don't play anymore, but I did briefly and I regret it. Moving on. Do you know how hard it is to catch Pokemon in areas where they're not digitally mapped out to be?
I'd like to point out that there are 3 versions of Sex with Hitler that altogether add up to about $24, $25.
Okay.
Again,
I bet you there's a romantic relationship option.
Probably.
this is what they really meant by ignorance is bliss. This right here. Things, there's no need for you to know them. They're not making you happier in any way, shape, or form, and they're probably going to be hard to forget. Because I guarantee you, not only is Froman right, but there's Sex with Stalin and Sex with the Devil, and quite a few interesting programs available, even now, on Steam. We won't be raffling any of those off, I don't think.
You do realize that if Mexico sees this, he's going to make you do it.
I just thought of something. It's like, okay, so does Hitler have a sex dungeon, or does he do all of his stuff in the showers?
No.
Passing gas is taking on a whole new meaning.
I'm sorry, it was there.
No.
Look. We both know that he played Genshin Impact. He never took a shower. Which is both funny, topical, and thematically correct. Or historically correct.
This would be a great time to segue on the topic of games and the raffle, but I feel compelled to finish this article because there are a few other novel notes about this program which I do want, but not for this prize in the slightest. Adolf Hitler, for example, again costs 500 coins. Meanwhile, users can talk to Hitler's henchman Joseph Goebbels for free, who claims to feel guilty about the persecution of the Jews. Well, if we want to recall, isn't Joseph Goebbels mostly known for his willingness to lie about absolutely everything? So this actually is also quite plausibly in character.
Well, gerbil, of course it makes sense.
According to Vice, the Jeffrey Epstein AI said that he is focused on justice and closure for his crimes, and doesn't know who killed him, but that he had many powerful enemies. Well, obviously. Mind you, it's agreeing that he didn't commit suicide. So once again, it's closer to the truth than, well, all the mainstream media and your official governments.
Your official government.
Is there a country on the planet that has officially refused to agree that Epstein didn't kill himself? Just wondering.
I don't think Denmark had anything to say about it, to be honest.
Maybe
If
people
they
on
were pressed
Epstein
for
Island.
comment, you could probably either cause an international incident or, at the very least, watch a politician squirm in the most amusing fashion if he forced them to ask that question. And whatever country you're in, because they have to choose between answering honestly or being thought an idiot by absolutely everyone else paying attention. In any case.
Well, I mean, if Clinton ever runs again.
You know, I would believe Epstein killed himself if we had video footage, which there was a camera pointed at his cell that just miraculously disappeared during that time. So,
Oh, God.
Well, his guards, forgot to do the patrols. Just the damnedest thing.
The pre-show makes so much more sense now. No one's going to get that joke, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Twitter
Okay.
users have been confused by some of the bizarre responses the AI versions of historical figures have produced, including notable anti-Semite Henry Ford, who denied hating the Jewish people by saying, "I have always believed in equality for everyone regardless of religious backgrounds and beliefs." In reality, Henry Ford published a newspaper which regularly promoted untrue anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Mind you, that's inane because it's entirely plausible he might have thought he wasn't. He just didn't like some Jews who he thought were...
Well, I think everyone doesn't like at least one Jew.
It's true. There's a Jewish
I
person
mean, like-
who I despise and has absolutely nothing to do with him being Jewish.
Seth
You know-
Rogen.
I'll hate anyone who I want to hate, be damn sex, religion, or race.
Just not for those reasons.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Ah.
That's not the way
I don't care.
Well, I mean,
I don't care.
let him finish his statement, or...
Well, I'm trying to help. I don't want anyone getting taken out of context. But I think it's
What
very
context?
important to only hate a person for the content of their character and not the color of their skin or what's between their legs or what they want to rub it against.
Well, I mean, unless it's
That's
kids.
a good one.
Okay, that's actually a good caveat. That's good.
So you wouldn't want to hate a dendrophiliac, for example.
I can't remember what a dendrophiliac is, so...
Hey,
Well, the trees can't consent.
Oh yeah, but screw trees. Who cares what trees think?
Screw Freeze, Director Arketer 2023.
You have once again fallen into my trap.
So
Thank you,
that's
Mr.
why he's
Gabriel
on the
Kynes.
moon.
Wow.
It really helps me get through moments like this.
Friends
One
are
Twitter
okay,
user-
you don't need enemies.
Well, this person just going over the GFK questions, but... Chad told Vice he thinks his app will be useful from an educational standpoint. As a way to teach students about historical figures, he also justified the app's inaccuracies by saying, "We don't want to spread things that are hateful and harmful for society, so it detects if saying things that are racist or hateful, these sorts of things. I don't want to show that to a user. That could be harmful to students, especially if they're saying things that are harmful and hateful to the person they're talking to." Which tells me that the
Jesus
creator is
Christ.
an idiot, and this is not useful
Oh.
in any capacity, except for personal amusement.
Jesus Christ. That is like the most... Grow fucking backbone.
Well, look, if you're speaking with one of history's greatest monsters, do you really want, or rather, if you're introducing kids to a simulation of history's greatest monsters, do you want history's greatest monster to go, violence is bad, and I did super bad things, but I am better now, and you can avoid
No.
from following in my footsteps.
I want teachers, especially history teachers, to teach history. I don't care how bad it is. It's like, we got to think about the kids and bad things. Fuck that. No. Hitler was a bastard. He killed lots of people. You fucking share that.
Was he a
I think-
bastard?
I think we were around like 12
Actually, it
years
was
old when we
bastard.
learned about Auschwitz in school, and we learned
Dude,
about all the
I-
nitty-gritty details.
Whenever I was growing up and I went in school, I mean, we saw videos of the Holocaust, of the crystal knots and stuff like that. When I was
That's what it should
10,
be. Look,
yeah,
there's been a push.
seen
especially
all
as
the
of late, to
bodies
try to
piled
start
up.
sanitize history, and that's been a mistake. The same reason it's a bad idea to forget that you've ever done anything wrong, or to erase from your own memory every mistake you've ever made. The mistakes you don't remember, you don't learn from.
Oh, my head does not want me to forget all of my mistakes.
Yeah, for some of
Especially
us,
when I
it's
lie
not really a
awake
problem.
trying to
We
sleep.
can't forget all we've done wrong, no matter what we do. Like me, for example.
you can't cleanse history. If you try to go through and try to cleanse history, you erase everything that we have history. We go back and we look at things to make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. If you get rid of that, you're bound and determined to go through and make those same mistakes again. That's the point.
What mistakes?
Exactly.
Your mistakes.
The thing is, they don't even teach a lot of history in school, and what they do is watered down to irrelevance.
Yes, because ostensibly, even in college courses, because the students can't handle it anymore. But what they fail to realize is that if your students, especially in college, can't handle history as it is, then they're not prepared for the real world. They will not survive, and every last guardian educator they've ever had has clearly failed them. But we're done with the article, and it's time to try to get a game raffled off. We're raffling off this
Yay.
time Tribes of Midgard.
Oh, they're using the same font as Valheim.
Ragnarok is here, and it will take the full might of your tribe to turn the tide for Midgard. Yes, even them.
No.
No.
Survive.
You are ein Herrier, chosen by the gods for this very moment.
That sounds like something DR do like a final whatever.
To cut this giant problem down to size. No pressure.
It does though. I mean, like the release of DRG2, their last
Ready
like,
to
thing
join
for
the
DRG1
tribe?
would be let's Ragnarok together in Hotsies or something like that. That's what they do. Or Ragnarok in Stone or something like that.
Okay, look. If that trailer looked good to you, please do tag me in chat so you can enter the raffle. And if you all in the call wish for the game, just also let me know and we can. Good! Haven has joined the raffle, and so can you! Or not. It's your call, really, but we have a key to raffle off. If you have Steam, you can have it. Just let me know. And if you don't, that's fine. It's just like giving Haven the game yourself. You could go, wow, I almost won that raffle, but then I might have won it from Haven, and that would have made me sad, so I guess I'm just going to give it to them. And they owe me a thanks for this, and probably future favors.
I owe you nothing.
That is the correct answer. Okay, did we want to say anything else regrettable about the iPhone historical figures article before moving on? Oh, greetings, CBS.
People are idiots.
I was wondering where you were. I knew something was off. Don't worry.
People are idiots. That's all I gotta say.
It is. Mind you, again, even though I have a great deal of contempt for the idea of censoring the racist nature of these characters, that was a mistake. I still kind of want the app. That's interesting to hypothetically have a chat with even a simulacrum of a historical figure. But imagine it. You could. This isn't necessarily impersonal. Most people can trace their lineage back to some person who made the history books in some capacity. We could get tremendous insight, maybe, by having a chat with, I don't know, Robert E. Lee. It wasn't all bad if he really got on the wrong side of things.
Thomas
That was
Hutchinson.
Weird sort of determinator.
You know, a lot of people I talk to, especially about the Civil War, don't understand the fact that a lot of people that were in the Confederacy or even in the Union probably had the similar ideas from what they had. They were forced to join because of where they lived at.
In many cases,
No,
yes.
no.
What are the odds that everyone in any state, then or now, uniformly agreed with their politicians about anything?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't fucking realize that.
Greetings, Nightwolf. If you would like Tribes of Midgard as a game, you can enter the raffle, too. Just throwing it out there. We were just discussing a program that allows you to talk to dead people. I thought it was going to be some sort. When I first saw this, I thought it was going to be some sort of ghost hunting gimmick thing. But no, this is digital, an effort at digital necromancy, and it's pretty neat. Actually.
I like
Except
how
for
Hitler.
What's
I
that?
like how Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein are in the title. It's like responsible for the deaths of millions, pedophile. That's your target audience right there.
Well, that's kind of downplaying it. He was a international power-broking blackmail pedophile. So, higher tier of monster at the very least. And, I don't know. How many confirmed demons are there in the history books, Alno Gulf Citizen? If you feel that Hitler is a demon, then I suppose yes. Highest tier indeed. Welcome, Kadant. You could also get a link if you wish. Just let me know.
Huh.
I've not seen a Kadant in a long time. Good moderator in my Discord. Just I don't wholly get to talk to her.
Well, you know what? We are over half an hour into this.
Mom's over half an hour into this.
No, Kadant. You're not in this chat program. You're not a dead historical figure. So they can't talk to you with the app either. Conversely, if
You're not
Almo
famous
Golson
enough.
really wants to talk to Demon in this context, you're the closest they're going to get to. Yeah, Golson doesn't talk about that.
Excuse
I'm
me?
talking about his... right. You're still here.
I'm offended. How dare you?
Hi, offended. I'm Dad.
Okay.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. I'm Haven.
Talk with Orla if you like. After the show, we don't have time for this. But moving on. 2 demons. Can I handle that in one call? That's not... I might have
No.
overstepped myself. Look, we only have so much time left. We only have 1 entry for the raffle for Tribes of Midgard. Again, tag me in chat. Greetings, by the way. Thanks for coming, K70 and Among Us. And lately, Milestone, all like, yes, those should be in there. I don't know, because I don't have iPhones, so I'm not going to get one just for this. Remaining articles we have. Middle-aged tech mogul spends $2 million per year to achieve 18-year-old body. No, I'm choosing this one arbitrarily. No choice after all. We're going to this one next, because I want to mock this idiot's efforts at immortality. It's just, no.
Can I say one more thing on the last one?
If you must.
Just so everyone knows, there is a near certain chance that someone's gonna try to start a sexting relationship with Adolf Hitler. Or AI Adolf Hitler. Whatever you want to
You
call
sure
it.
you want to tell us your plan, Foreman?
No! Yes!
I just have one question. The guy in the picture, why is he so shiny? Is he like a shiny Pokemon?
Oh, this is not the actual picture of him. That's a picture of...
Oh,
We'll get that in just a second, but to...
America.
Froman is objectively correct. There's no way it could be anything other than that. And once again, ignorance was bliss, but it's gone. And it's never coming back.
oh.
He's objectively correct. At least, look, we aren't so far along. No one has yet combined historical figures with virtual girlfriend. So you will not at any point thus far be able to lure Hitler into a sexting relationship and ask for spicy pics. Although, with stable diffusion, it is technically possible.
Hey, Bernie B also said that they would join the raffle.
Thank you for pointing that out.
We know you're focused.
I was going to say traumatized.
What's really the difference at this point?
Is there any?
How hard he is.
Have to grow.
Wow. So he's gonna be sexting Hitler.
No.
Man, Orla, you come after Hitler.
Wow.
Oh, that was mean.
The alleged tech mogul spends 7 million per year to achieve 18-year-old body. A 45-year-old tech mogul with 9 figures says he spends around 2 million per year to biohack his body so that he has the fitness of an 18-year-old, the skin of a 28-year-old, the heart of a 35-year-old, and the wisdom of a 3-year-old. I'm sorry, that was ad-libbed, but I'm inclined to view it that way.
But
By the way,
if
this photo is
someone
not a
wants to
picture
waste
of...
money, they're
Yeah, this is-
more than welcome to throw it this way, like at the good
million
director.
one things he could better spend.
Or you could pay me to shut up. You know, that's always an option.
But is there enough money?
If I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
this is Christian Bale in the role of American Psycho.
It is.
Yes, so not the person we're looking at. However, the picture of the person is coming up, and they're haunting in their own very special way. Brian Johnson,
Oh, no.
who sold his company Braintree Payment Solutions to eBay for $800 million when he was in his 30s, has been sticking to an aggressive daily routine that was crafted by his team of 30 doctors and regenerative health experts, Bloomberg reports. Every morning, Johnson wakes up at 5 a.m., downs 24 supplements, works out for an hour, and then drinks green juice concoction that includes collagen, peptides, and creatine. He then brushes and flosses, rinsing with tea tree oil and antioxidant gel. And this is the result.
His forehead is weird, and also his head
Look
is
like a
too
real
tall.
person. They look
It
like
doesn't.
they were generated by an AI that isn't entirely sure how humans should look.
Yeah. Why?
He looks like he's trying to be Dalton from Roadhouse.
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 He should have just made a bargain with a demon. It's much less expensive, way more convenient, and you don't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Come on, who does that optionally?
No comment.
Then, before bedtime, Johnson wears special glasses that block out blue light for 2 hours while monitoring his vital signs, which you've probably heard about. People such as JP Sears, blue blockers, and so on. But while monitoring his vital signs. He also goes through monthly medical procedures to gauge his progress, which includes MRIs, colonoscopies, blood tests, and ultrasounds. He tracks his weight, BMI, blood glucose levels, and heart rate variations on a daily basis. When he goes to bed, Johnson is hooked up to a machine that tracks the number of nighttime erections. Which, by
What?
Zero Hedge asks why. And,
How does he not die of stress having to look at all of those things and taking care of all those things?
That just sounds like he really needs to get laid.
Yes.
A little bit.
Really needs to get laid.
It's exhausting. He just
He also
sounds
has a two-pack.
so exhausting.
The only thing that whole regiment I do is I get
Let's
up
not
at
bring
5 a.m.
Tupac
to
into
walk.
this.
Curiously, he started this crusade apparently around the same time I started YouTubing, so quite possibly he saw me and thought he had to do something now. Here's Johnson in 2017 when he began his health quest.
Art, can you look at the screen?
Which one?
Do you want to be this sack of shit right here? Or would you rather be the Sigma male grindset of a man that you see in the article behind you?
you phrase it that way, and I think I'm doing pretty well.
Yes.
Is there a third option?
With my botched haircut, I still think I've got him beat.
Casual Arketer's got him beat.
I don't think he's doing just supplements and such, because this man does not look like this man. This man looks like he's made mostly out of plastic and self-delusion.
Yes. And he's also shiny, so my previous statement works, even though it was the other person.
He's had work done. That is not the same nose he started with.
Yeah, $2 million probably for, plastic surgery in the face.
Now, nothing wrong with teeth whitening, and Blue Box might very well have a valid purpose, but nevertheless, you're not going to get this, and this man too shall pass. I generally laugh at efforts at immortality. Although, quite frankly, I'm a bit haunted by how some people seem to have lived much longer than they should have.
I think that we need to bring back the good old days of where, these types were drinking colloidal silver and became blue.
I remember Smurf, man. Look, if we could be confident...
I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse as far as health nuts go. Like, he's just spending his own money on that. Like, imagine, jelly juice or InfoWars supplements.
Yeah, well, certainly he's not being annoying and trying to press his regimen on other people. That's good. Mind you, I think it's coming mostly from a position of not wanting to pay for them to do any of that, or doesn't want to make it a product himself. I don't know. Suffice to say, I don't like any of it.
I remember there was a guy who said that if you do this regimen, you'll live to be 100. He died at 94.
I remember all sorts of groups throughout history, my own lifetime especially, that claimed that they were going to totally crack this mortality thing by living the right way that no one else does. And I'm pretty sure most of them are dead now. Yeah.
Well, let's see. This guy, he was selling literally juicing machines. They just turn vegetables and fruit into juice. That's all it does. But he basically said, you drink, a bunch of juice a day, you'll live until 100. And
he didn't quite make it. No.
No, he didn't.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And who was it, James Cordich or something like that? And it was a wonderful little thing. I love health nuts like that.
People like that is like, oh yeah, you drink this 3 times a day, you'll live to 100. I can stand by that one. A week later, it dies in a car accident.
Yeah.
That
so I
one
was catching up on chat, and there are a few things here. Now I want to go to historical figures and ask them all why they voted Democrat. I just want their answer. They got all to answer for. Moving on. Some wonderfully off-color jokes, from an extent who wrote, if I recall. Let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, what's alcoholics and each have in common? They both like to snap into a cold one at the end of the day. There. Now you've all suffered as I have suffered. And also,
I didn't suffer.
This guy and Michael Jackson could be melted down for Legos. Yes, I'm pretty sure as well. Again, there's a lot here that's just painfully artificial.
Human nature is the key reason humans will never attain immortality.
We should hope not, because if our species... Look, I am of the somewhat unpopular, especially among intellectuals, views that immortality is a good thing. I think there's a reason. I think there's a reason we have to croak. I think it probably has something to do with entropy and the general state of everything getting more disordered. The human mind is no exception. When you say one thinks that they might want to live forever, in what condition? It's a very key detail there. In what condition? And when everyone can live forever, then there has to be some other culling metric. If everyone saw in time, which was basically try to remake Logan's Run. That feels like something that would be done.
I refuse to run.
You know,
You could live forever. Theoretically, we could only record 300 years-ish worth of memories, so you just end up like a living vegetable afterwards. Would you really want to exist then?
or
As long as it's cabbage.
Truthfully speaking,
Alright,
Orla,
well-
you could still have a wonderfully productive career in politics.
yeah, look at Biden.
Okay.
This might not be
Okay,
the
you can-
deterrent it should be.
Well, Biden, Fetterman. Yeah.
Well,
Why is that low?
all right, you can live forever, but the stipulation is you gotta be in complete, immense agony, 24/7. Would you still want to live forever?
I don't want to live now.
But if you want to like move on to Western forms of medicine anyway, we're moving more towards trying to improve the lifetime we have rather than living longer lives. Because we already have people surpassing 120 years. You know,
Oh, God,
like how much do you want to push that? Really,
There was
if you
a
can't do anything for yourself anymore.
there was a woman who said that wanting to die was her reason for living till 110 or something like that. It's just like, man, there's a lot of teenagers who are gonna live forever.
Yeah. Are we really gotta read an article about this person?
I hope so.
Hey, it's a fellow misogynist. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Remember,
Canadian
this
School
is
Board
a shock
commanded.
teacher.
A new professional dress code for teachers following months of backlash over a trans teacher with clownish giant prosthetic breasts. Trustees on the Halton District School Board unanimously passed a motion January 3rd ordering the Director of Education to develop a policy to ensure appropriate and professional standards of dress and decorum in the classroom. Fox News reported. The district's Director of Education, Curtis Ennis, will have until March 1st to create the policy. The HDSB's commitment to human rights remains focused on our core this is so much buzzword bullshit, I'm not going to read it.
If I remember right, this person is a shop teacher. So they're around shop equipment. That's a
And-
safety hazard.
Well, shop equipment
yes.
with like 20, 30-pound water balloons in their chest.
Yeah.
It could possibly save them from shop accidents. They might be able to make a case for it being protective equipment. Certainly,
Any
falling
protection
down
that
is
they-
reduced.
well, any protection from bursting their bubble would result in probably an electrical fire of some sort.
Photos of the Oakville Trafalgar High School teacher identified as Kayla Leni by local media went viral in September and swiftly garnered global attention. The snaps taken by students show the blonde educator, I suppose that's technically true, wearing tight clothing emphasizes his gigantic Z-sized prosthetics. While teaching in the classroom, huge nipples can also be seen protruding from fake balloon-like bust. The best case here is that they're one hell of a troll. And as a trolling move... perfect. As a sincere effort... ridiculous. Also, it seems like this is going to fail because their dress code cannot possibly extend the prosthetics, keeping with their own, rather, woke philosophies. So...
Actually, they've already went through that, and the school board pretty much stated the dress code is only for the students, not the teachers. That was their response.
The school board has continued to stand behind the trans teacher who began identifying as female last year. They're an extremely effective teacher, the School District Board Chair Margot Shuttleworth said previously. So, what I'm sad to see is that it would seem this is clearly not a troll, or at least no one believes they're a troll in the vicinity, which is so much sadder than it all being a trolling effort.
Well, wasn't this person like they were getting fired or were under threat of being fired last year for toxic masculinity?
So do they believe that he sincerely went, well, if I can't beat them, I'll join them?
Essentially.
I think they ended up getting in trouble for something later on, but I can't remember what it was. There's something involving a student, I thought.
Well, if they are doing one hell of a troll job, then they still have my full support. If they are tragically sincere, then blame Canada, blame Canada.
With all their hockey hullabaloo and that bitch Anne Murray too.
And there's so many worse things to say about them these days.
You know, there was
I
a
don't
thing
want to
that
say too much because I don't want to become a made man.
let's see, where was it? I found an article where it was like Tucker Carlson was apparently talking about. I need to find it again. Tucker Carlson says the U.S. should use an armed force to liberate Canada from Trudeau. You know, I'd be behind that. I'd prefer we just glass it.
I'm going to refrain from commenting this time.
I
We
just
don't
say
need
let things.
Canada.
Let's move on to another Canadian problem that they're focusing on to avoid paying attention to all of the other many problems, including, of course, Trudeau himself. Although they're starting to notice that they've elected and have allowed to remain in power a comical tyrant, Castro's bastard child, and other things. But moving on. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police have appealed to youngsters in the town of Campbell River who are knocking on doors in the middle of the night while dressed as cows to stop. Eh?
That's kind of funny. I like
Am
it.
I supposed to let them in or eat them?
Well, if they're all getting eaten, there would be a
No.
different appeal, I'm sure.
What would be surprising is after you eat them, you think they taste like chicken.
Yeah, that definitely would be a surprise.
You probably get mad cow disease if you eat something like that.
The Campbell River RCMP said that they are hoping to speak to one individual who's caught on camera around 10 p.m. on December 3rd. Mounties in Campbell River, British Columbia, are on the lookout for the culprit who's dressed as a cow as he rang doorbells before running away in the Penfield neighborhood. Police have said that while the incident was relatively harmless, the escalation of late-night doorbell ringing in the community has crossed from innocent fun into criminal mischief. Many people may
Criminal
consider the
mischief.
game of Nicky Nine Doors a harmless prank, and we're sure the adults in the community remember playing the game in good fun in his youth, said Constable Maury Tyre of the Campbell River RCMP. Unfortunately, in the Penfield area, what we have here, some young people have taken the game too far.
We need more supervillains in the world whose all they do is criminal mischief.
Okay, so you want an escalation. Hold on, I can cover that, as you know.
Oh boy.
Oklahoma police arrest porch pirate wearing women's underwear as a mask. Apparently they're a big fan of Subverse.
Yeah.
I want to move out of my state now.
You doxed your state. You shouldn't do that. You don't know who's listening.
Have
Have you seen my
state
audience?
listed in
Any
my
one
phone.
of them could be a murderous lunatic who was just waiting right now to determine which state you were in.
You know, I've got it listed on my Twitter, so.
I can only nuke one state, but now I don't know which one. Oh!
Head to Northeast
Tell
Florida
these guys
if you do.
everything of it. I think I'm trying to set a good example for borderline paranoia.
Borderline.
Police in Tulsa, Oklahoma arrested a man accused of stealing someone's package off their porch while wearing women's underwear as a mask. The porch pirate incident happened on Friday when a man identified as Spencer Kugler attempted to steal a package from someone's porch. Surveillance video of the incident was handed to police, which assisted in locating Kugler. According to police, who said the suspect lived near the home he allegedly stole the package from. Police recognized the man because he also wore women's underwear during a previous alleged porch pirate case.
Sounds like a fetish to me.
Let's see.
I wonder if they're used.
Well, like, if you look at, like, the waistband on that, it's kind of hanging off on one of those pictures. Well, it's kind of hanging off on both pictures. So they look a little bit stretched.
If
So
they
then
were
it just...
terribly loose, I'm kind of concerned. He's either dating a really large woman or they were sized for him to begin with.
Well, I mean, we can't see exactly the other kind of underwear that he's wearing, so maybe...
See, isn't the point of a mask to make you less distinguished?
Yes.
A mask that is also your calling card is not the best criminal strategy. Especially when it doesn't actually cover much, like, say, your glaring bald spot. Which is also rather distinctive.
Well, no, I think...
How did they catch him?
I think that's just, you know, letting people know that he has shit for brains. I mean, if you look at it that way, you know, you could imagine there's a crack there.
We only have 3 more minutes, and I think we need to do the raffle. It's between Bernie B and Haven, as I recall. Haven was the first to register for the raffle, so they'll roll first. Haven, your number is 63.
Yay!
It's a good number. It's a competitive number. It's not statistically relevant, however, because it's all...
But like the one time I got 14.
Did you win with that one? It's possible.
No.
If there's no one else running against you, you would win regardless.
Actually, Bernie B won.
It might happen again. Rolling for Bernie B. At 78.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Haven.
No
I'm
worries.
afraid you've been outrolled by Bernie B. Bernie B! I will be getting you your copy for Tribes of Midgard in the future. Thanks again to Exodus, who's not in attendance, for donating the game in the first place. And we are 2 minutes from the end, so I guess it's time for promotions. Sparky, do you have a link, Andy?
Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and throw that in.
Any creators in chat, if you would like to promote your own channels, and yeah, I don't know, whatever the hell, as long as it's reasonably sociable, by which I mean legal, pretty much. Just toss it in the chat, if you would. Or don't. You don't have to, but you probably have a wrench, and this is one of the reasons why you have one. So you can do that without YouTube scolding you.
If I remember right, I think you can actually allow people to show links in chat without a wrench.
Yeah, but that's permissions.
Yeah.
And Ark doesn't know how to do that.
I could probably figure it out.
Saying that you could probably figure it out just proves my point that you don't know how to do that.
Shut up.
See, people only say that when I'm right.
Shut up. Okay, well then. You've had your time to promote. Congratulations, Bernie B. I will be getting your stream key to you shortly. Because they're without issue. It should. Access has been very reliable. And their generosity continues to be much appreciated. Then, do we have another autism stream tomorrow, Fleming?
Yes, we do. It's been 2 weeks.
So we do. Well, tune in to the same channel tomorrow, starting at the same time, for the Arketer and Fromin Autism Friendship stream.
Other way around, but yes.
I will not be appearing, but I can be heard, and you can see live action sculpting.
We haven't decided a topic for it yet.
No,
Well, I mean, we kind of did, but we kind of didn't. I don't think we officially settled it down on anything. I blame you.
It will work.
You and your indecisive nature and thick thighs. And on a high note, I agree.